Hi, class. I just completed reading your discussions on education, and I was really impressed with the details in all of your responses, um, especially the second discussion on education and what kind of education you've had so far, and what you've been doing with the last 12 years. A lot of you found education to be boring, and many of you made comments about how the excitement of the teacher is a really important part about learning about the topic. So I thought your comments were really interesting, and I really enjoyed reading them. And I graded them and sent them back to you, as well as your previous discussions. I'm enjoying seeing your interaction with each other as well. It's a really good sign that this is a really good class and we connect very well with each other. I want to let you know that this week we're going to continue talking a little bit about education more in details. You have a couple of videos here on annotation that I would really like you to focus on, because annotation is a really important part of writing an essay. So as you read, you gather ideas for your own essays. Now, many of you in your discussions had really good points to make that you could focus and include in an essay. So this week, you're going to be turning in your first essay that you should be working on. And the skills that I have in my modules this week is to prepare you to put together an essay. So taking notes, using the dictionary, writing a summary, all of these skills that I'm teaching you are preparing you to write an essay. So therefore, when you sit to write an essay, you don't look at the blank page. You look at your annotations. You look at the words you've looked up as you've been reading your articles in your reader. You look at the essay summaries that you've written. So I suggest that when you read, you summarize points, and you can put your summaries on flashcards. I have a little box here, and in my box I keep my revision notebooks, and this is what I call a revision notebook, where I put notes on a card with particular topics. I do this for every aspect of my life, and I think it's really a nice little way to keep track of your notes, is to make a revision notebook. And when you go to sit down to write an essay, you can look at your revision notebook. You can look at the notes that you've taken, maybe the quotes that you found, and incorporate those ideas into your essay. And so just please note that everything that you're reading, everything that we're doing, is to help prepare you to be a better writer. That's a very important thing. So having flashcards like this with a little I don't know, it's a little pocket envelope. I got these at Dollar Tree, by the way. I don't spend a lot of money on my materials, but it's really nice. I also buy this little bit of tape, and I tape the edges of the flashcards like this, and I put them together with a title. It's usually grouped by certain ideas, and then I put them in a little box like this. I do this for every aspect of my life, anything that I'm learning. This weekend I went to a seminar on Saturday, and I learned a new skill on something else with my sewing experience, not with education. But I took notes, and I transferred the notes onto flashcards, and I made revision notebooks, and I have them in a little folder like this in my sewing room. So later on, when I need information, I can go back and look at my notes. So I really, I use these things in all aspects of my life. But when you're sitting to write an essay, it's a lonely world. And that's why I prepare you to gather your ideas on notes, to highlight and annotate, look up words you don't understand, and put that information into a writing product like an essay. So this week, not only are you're going to be talking about how to write and take notes and annotate, but you're also going to have some videos and some instruction on how to put together a thesis statement and how to put together your ideas. There's different skills, and then to write an outline and write an essay. Your essays are always due with an outline. So how I like them is for you to put them all in the same file. My preference is first for you to have the outline, second the essay, and then the third the works cited page. You can put them all in one file. Please also note that if you do turn in your papers with Google Docs, that you open the share, so that when I go to read your essays, I can read the essay, because if you don't open the share, then I'm going to have to email you and tell you to open the share. It's at the upper right hand corner. It's a little blue little figurine up there. You just click on open share. So this week we're going to put together your first essay. It's due September 18th, which is Saturday. And I'm looking forward to reading your essays. And many of you have the beginnings of your ideas in your discussions. So I would suggest that if you are lost as to what to write about, go back and look at your discussions, because your discussions are an important part of incorporating your ideas. And then this week, look at the annotations. Many of you got great quotes from the readings, and those quotes you can incorporate with your own ideas, and you've got an essay. So your thesis is going to be the controlling point of your paper. So it's a really important sentence. And I don't want you to feel like you have to stay with the thesis you originally thought. You can play around with this as you're writing and developing your ideas. You can go back and fix your thesis and revise it many times. So I always suggest that when you start writing, you start with a working thesis. You have an idea of what points you want to make. But as you write your paper, you create more ideas, and then you can go back and revise your thesis. So I hope you guys have a really nice week. I really enjoyed reading your discussions, and I'm looking forward to reading the rest of your work this week.